indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment period. Any public comments? Once, twice, no public comments. Okay. Minutes, December 2nd and 9th, 2021, Board of Supervisors meeting. All right. I will do these. I do not have any comments.
I don't either. I'm all good.
Okay. All right. So we need a motion to approve the minutes as presented, right? I'm sorry. Do I need to make a motion to approve those minutes?
Yes.
All right, I make a motion to approve the December 2nd and December 9th Board of Supervisor meeting minutes.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Treasury report, bills to be paid.
Can I just interject here? I apologize. I just looked in my book and it looks like the actual treasurer's report is not in your book. So I'll have to get that and provide that to you. So your motion to approve that treasurer's report shouldn't occur yet.
Okay.
All right. The bills were in your booklet and so those are fine to move forward with.
Okay.
And I will say that the total bills to be paid this time is $39,303.92.
Okay. All right. I looked at the, I saw these already.
Yeah, I saw these too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, everything's good.
All right, I make a motion to approve the payment of the bills and to advance the treasurer the funds to pay any needed bills or expenditures to save penalties or accrue interest and payroll prior to the Board of Supervisors meeting on February 10th, 2022. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Emergency services,
So we have in your packet a report from Plymouth Community Ambulance indicating that the monthly total of calls was 15, 6 of which were Frederick Living, and we did not get a report from Harleysville, I believe.
okay. Okay.
What's that? Oh, nobody's here for the fire company, I apologize. All right, looks like the fire company had 8 incidents for the month.
Okay. Okay. Water sewer plant report?
No violations to report?
Sorry, you didn't have any comments on that?
No, I have no comments.
Sorry, go ahead.
No violations to report. Everything's running pretty good.
Okay.
Good deal.
Public Works road report?
Yeah, so the Public Works Director is not here tonight. In his report, he identifies road maintenance, tree maintenance along Salford Station Road and Colonial. They had a winter weather event, so they worked on that. Water meter replacements. They replaced decking on an 18-foot Belmont trailer. There was some swale work on Swamp Creek Road, and then various work orders.
Okay. All right. Civil engineers report. I'm sorry, I skipped. Environmental engineers report.
All right, the report's been distributed, posted for review. In the month of December, they completed the repair work, upgrade work at the Perk Crossing wastewater treatment plant that included the new effluent check valves and the connection of the air line to the spare EQ tank. We have to check the valves in the tank, they're a little rusty, we might have to free them up or replace the small valves at the top of the tank. So, but everything else was completed there. The water side, we had DEP inspection previously. Everything was good there. A couple little things. They had a new form on the electrical rating capability for the generator, so we have to complete that. That's just, we have to pull together some data for that, send over to her. And she wanted us to double check to make sure the sanitary seal on well 2 meets their current spec. She thought it might not, but she sent me photos of the ones that meet the current spec, and it was like, well, that's the first one at the top of the page, but I have to get the driller, the well contractor, to look at it and take it off, confirm it, and stick it back on. So that's all. We just owe her a couple things. We had Dave Bonkovich out to check for water leak there at Glenwood. He found the sound for one leak, and it was at 4444. I have to check the number. The question that has to be discerned is it might be on the resident side of the curb stop versus on the township side. But if you look at the report from Miller Environmental, you can see from the water usage, Dave was saying he didn't think it was a large leak, but if you look at the graph there with the water and the wastewater usage, you can clearly see the water, the red graph is significantly, it's a bit overriding the wastewater. So it, I think, is also indicative of the leak occurring there.
Yeah.
That's primarily it. Everything looks good at Ivy, and no communications with the developers on the proposed plan.
All right. All right, civil engineers report.
Okay, LTO has updated the engineer's report for the month of January. We sent that out to Tracy. You should have a copy of that in your packet. Going over that, the only thing worth noting really is you'll notice there that the Alberts Tract subdivision had an expiration date of January 24th. That, since subsequent to issuing this, that has been, I believe we've received an extension on that.
Correct.
I want to say April, I'm not positive, I think it was April, 90
Yeah,
days.
I think it's 90 days.
Yeah, so it would be April then. So really, that's the only thing worth noting on there. The other items on the engineer's report, really, there haven't been any activity.
Okay. All right, building inspector and zoning.
So according to the report in our packet, 3 permits were processed last month and 6 inspections occurred. We have the same zoning items here in the list. There's been no communication on one, a couple of them don't have an update, and one of them is, they're slowly working on compliance, but it's very slow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, planning commission.
Okay, planning commission meeting did occur. It was the December 16th, planning commission meeting date. And items worth noting, Scioto Village was discussed about the extension of time would no longer be accepted for that. That's been going on for a while. Literally since I've been here, it was on my engineer's report. 16 years and nothing has happened, so that is going to go away from a subdivision application standpoint. However, Albert subdivision was discussed in depth, went through many of the sections. I apologize, I had a conflict that night because of the moving of the PC meeting, so I couldn't be here, but Nicole Schwenk from our office was. She was familiar with the plan, discussed it with the planning commission, and many of the sections were discussed, like I said, in detail. At the end of that discussion, a motion was made by Mr. O'Donnell recommending approval of the Alberts Tract subdivision to send it on to the supervisors, contingent upon compliance with LTL's letter dated November 30th, 2021, which was the recent letter at that time. In addition to that, there were several conditions that the planning commission had, and subsequent again to my engineer's report, Tracy had forwarded on to me that information, so I will make sure that as the plan gets final and is in front of you, as early as next month, I think it probably should be.
Yeah, so, right, so that's our schedule. We didn't want to bring it tonight because the applicant is still working on resolving the conditions that the planning commission recommended. So we wanted to bring it to you next month when it's a clean plan. The applicant's been very willing to work with accommodating, you know, the comments of LTL and the planning commission. Okay?
Yeah, the plan still needs work, and in addition to that, he's gonna be working on some development agreement, or however that's gonna we're gonna secure the street trees and things like that. Additionally, LTL has to go out, check the monumentation, so it just was not ready for you. But, just wanted to give you an update on that, and that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Regional Planning Commission.
There was not a regional planning commission meeting in December.
Okay.
And we are looking for members of the supervisors and planning commission to represent our township at those meetings, if either of you are interested.
All right. Parks and Recreation Board. They're not in
They
attendance.
are not here. They did meet last month and talked about, let's see, hang on. We talked about the Christmas tree pickup that they did this past weekend. And those trees were taken by the public works staff over to the goat farm.
Okay.
And so it sounds like that was successful. There were, I think, at least 41 trees that were taken over to the goat farm. They are getting ready to start planning for Community Day and for the Swamp Creek Stomp, which is going to be in early April. And they are going to be doing weekend volunteer, work sessions, I guess, basically to start clearing the trails out at Wayland Park, because it's been a couple of years since they've done the stomp. And the expectation is the trails are pretty overgrown. And so those will probably be starting in a few weeks when the weather allows.
Okay.
Okay?
Comment, the owners of the goat farm posted something on the community website for Schwanksville.
Oh, yeah.
They got 65 trees, and they'll carry the goods through the winter.
Oh, nice. Well, I guess 41 of them are from us. Wow.
They're
Nice.
very happy about it.
Oh, that's great.
Probably not many of them left already.
Do they want more?
I think they take one.
Oh, really?
That's why, the impression I got, they were happy to get them.
Oh, that's
It
great.
was a cute little thing she posted with the goats walking around and going through a Christmas tree.
All right.
Okay. All right, old business. We're just,
Yeah, so we pretty much just covered this. This is the
Mhm.
Alberts track, as I mentioned, and as Norm explained. There were a few conditions, and we're just working on kind of tying up the loose ends, so it does come to you as a clean plan next month. We did get the extension, so we're in good shape on that.
before we go on to new business, do you want to take care of this treasure?
Yeah, we can
Yeah, I just want to look through that real quick.
This hasn't changed from that.
No, and I'll just say that the treasurer's report, our new treasurer went ahead, just because she was sort of tight on time, she went ahead and followed the old kind of style of report.
Okay.
But her intention is to adjust the style of report so that it's a little more user-friendly and understandable in the future. But it's just been a tight turnaround coming on board, so that'll be something to look for in the future.
Okay. All right. Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented and file for audit. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. New business.
So at your reorganization meeting, we had discussed the fact that in the past, the bond for the treasurer had been for $1 million, but it really needs to be for an amount of cash that's basically accessible to her. At first, we thought that would be our entire budget, which was $3.6 million, but when we got a cost estimate for that bond, it was $4,500, up from $750. So I talked to Dave and we kind of did a little more research, and it turns out that she does not need to be bonded for aspects of our budget that are invested, like our CDs and that sort of thing. So $2 million bond is acceptable for her. So I got a cost estimate for a $2 million bond, and it's $1,250. So I'm asking for a motion to change the bonding requirement for our treasurer from 3.6 million to 2 million.
All right, yeah, I'll make a motion to set the bond amount for the treasurer at $2 million. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Girl Scout Agreement Amendment.
Okay, so last year, the township agreed to contribute some funds to the acquisition of, I guess, easements or buying the development rights from the Girl Scout property. This is a joint project. It includes grants, and it includes New Hanover Township, and it includes the county. And when that agreement was prepared, there were sort of two scenarios laid out in that agreement. One was based on a grant from DCED only, and then another scenario where there was a grant from DCED and DCNR. Well, they got their funding, but it turns out they only got funding from DCNR. And it's an amount of funding that's sort of in between the previously anticipated options. So what is being asked of the township is, previously, we had committed $85,500 if the DCED only grant arrangement came in. And we had agreed to $74,035 if they had gotten the DCED and DCNR grant.
Right.
So they're asking to sort of split the difference since they got this other grant scenario. Now and so they're proposing that we contribute $79,768, which is the in-between amount. And this is an amount that would be paid over 3 years. Is that right, Dave? 3 years, I think it is? Yeah. So this, we budgeted in 2022 for the higher amount because we weren't sure what, was gonna be awarded. And so this actually comes in a little lower, and I think it'll save us in the 2022 budget $1,910 if we agree to this middle amount. And if you look at the chart here, they've basically done the same thing with all the contributors. They've asked them all to kind of meet in the middle and split the difference.
New Hanover is participating.
They are, and they're actually a much bigger contributor.
Yeah, they
So,
do, yeah.
yeah, our contribution is like 79,000, theirs is 480,000.
Okay. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I mean, you wanna state the reason why we did it, so it wouldn't get developed?
Yeah, I mean, here.
Yeah, that's why we did it,
Right.
because I recall the acreage, it's a lot.
Substantial.
Yeah, it's a large amount of acres. And I believe part of the negotiation is that there would be some public access along the
Yes.
perimeter of the
Trail.
property, there'd be a trail.
Put a trail.
Trail in.
Right, exactly. Which will be a great connection to our park system and the future Swamp Creek Greenway. So it's definitely a really, great opportunity all around. So, if you're okay with that,
Yes.
Big win for the, for
There'll
everybody.
be an agreement that they'll send to us amending the original agreement which we entered into.
right. I'm thinking though, a motion to
So I think
agree
motion
to
to
that amount.
approve the change, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve this change for the Girl Scout camp to, for $79,768 by Upper Frederick payable over 3 years.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Rodney Reynolds?
Yes, so Mr. Reynolds has been our auditor for the last 2 years. I guess it's 2 of 3. We had a proposal from him 3 years ago. Turns out during that time, he switched companies, and when we reappointed him last at your reorganization meeting, we still had him listed as at his old company, but he is now employed by Alfred J. Baker, and so we just need to change that establishment, because I think when we did it last, on April 3rd, we identified his previous firm.
Right, the rate hasn't changed, right?
Rate is still the same, correct?
All right, make a motion to appoint Rodney Reynolds of Alfred J. Baker as the Township Auditor at a cost of $5,950.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, wireless facilities ordinance update.
Dave, do you want me to?
Well, this is an amendment to our wireless communications ordinance, which would be bringing in compliance with the state act, which was adopted last year. And I think we sent this to the planning commission, and
Correct.
I believe they reviewed it and recommended that we go ahead and adopt the changes.
That's correct.
So I think it's appropriate for you tonight to authorize me to go ahead and advertise it for adoption at the February meeting.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to advertise the proposed amendments to the wireless facilities ordinance. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Appraisal for 70, sorry, appraisal for 744 Perkiomenville Road.
Yes, so this is an item that you can go into executive session if you would like. We have gotten a cost proposal for the property adjacent to this property regarding possibly acquiring the back portion of it so that we have a little more space here for our public works department and a little more park area.
Okay. All right, yeah, I think we should do that. We'll go to executive session and talk about those details. Okay. Do you want to do the announcements?
Yeah, we do the announcements first, and go.
Yeah.
Okay, assisted recycling is Friday, January 27th, 2022, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Recycling center will be permanently closed as of February 28th, 2022. Okay. I make a motion to move to executive session. Can we adjourn this meeting, or do we just,
Just go into executive session, and come back in
and then we come back and we'll adjourn the meeting? Okay. All right, well, I make that motion to.
Second.
Okay.
You got it.
No, you don't need us to hang. Or
No, unless
close the meeting.
Unless, yeah.
You can sit here and say bye. Go.
Thanks for coming.
Yep, yep.
Huh?
Maybe
Hey, Norm, why don't you stick around?
about this property.
Yeah.
For the meeting?
Yeah, for this, stay for executive session.
Yep, yep.
Just in case we have a problem.
Yeah.
I think I might
That's
put
okay.
a tree there so the girls can see them.
See you, sir. Always a pleasure.
Ghosts are so fun.
Nice for the chocolate. Is that your hat out
So what's that called?
It's my hat.
And
It's a short hat. Oh, sure. I don't know. I thought you lived under that.
yeah, please,
We'll take care.
Thank you.
Township line, that the one that's closed, where the bridge is,
Oh, yeah.
or is that township line?